This complaint is filed under Section 12 of Consumer Protection Act 1986. On 22nd December 2010, the complainant submitted an application for investment in a term deposit for 1 year, 10 days and enclosed his check for Rs 50,000 to the opposite party. The SB account of the complainant is with the opposite party and showing a balance of Rs 62,385, which was sufficient to meet the investment on that date. The opposite party scrutinized the application as well as the check submitted by the complainant, and after satisfying with the rules and procedures, the opposite party delivered a term deposit receipt to the complainant. Thus, the complainant was made to understand and impressed with confirmation that the opposite party had issued the term deposit receipt only after realizing the check, and hence he continued to carry out his savings bank account with debit and credit transactions as usual whenever necessary after 1 week onwards. The said term deposit was matured on 1/1/2012, and on 5/1/2012 the complainant, with an intention to reinvest the proceeds of the matured sum, requested the opposite party through an email to renew the term deposit for a period of 1 year. On 10/1/2012, the opposite party replied to the complainant through an email that the said term deposit was opened on 22nd/12/2010, but erroneously the amount was neither debited to the savings bank account nor credited to the FDR account of the complainant, and expressed sorry for the inconvenience. The opposite party, with an intention to evade payment of money to the complainant, also stated that the term deposit could be issued on 10/1/2012 from back date if the sum of Rs 50,000 was available in the SB account of the complainant from 22nd/12/2010 to till date. The action and the subsequent contemplation of the opposite party in dealing with the case is only to penalize the complainant for no fault of his and to cover up the negligence, inefficiency and failure to perform its duty towards the complainant. It is not fair on the part of the opposite party to say at this stage that the complainant had not maintained the minimum balance equal to the sum of the term deposit in the SB account. Moreover, the opposite party never cautioned nor alerted the complainant about the depleting balances, if any, found in the SB account. Therefore, the opposite party is liable to pay the maturity value of the term deposit along with the accrued interest thereon with other reliefs. Next para. The opposite party bank filed the counter and mainly contended that the complainant has issued check for Rs 50,000 for issuance of the term deposit in his name, and it was written by complainant as yourself, which means the said check was issued for his own purpose and not in favor of the bank. It is true that the complainant handed over a yourself check to the accountant of the bank for Rs 50,000. The complainant came to the bank on the said date and asked for the credit of the check and could not wait till the amount is debited from his account, stating that he has urgent work, and insisted to give the term deposit certificate even before the check is debited. The concerned clerk gave the term deposit certificate and the complainant left the bank. Thereafter, the clerk could not debit the amount by depositing the said check, as computers were not working on that day due to power failure. The complainant, being a responsible customer, ought to have maintained the said balance in his account all through the term deposit period for which he is now claiming. The term deposit certificate which was taken by complainant will become effective only if the check was encashed. Moreover, the term deposit is always subject to realization of the check. The said check amount was not debited in the account of the complainant due to the system's failure, which is to the knowledge of the complainant. After issuing the above mentioned check, the complainant had withdrawn the amounts lying in his account and there was no balance of rupees 50,000 in his account. There was no occasion for the bank to debit the check given by the complainant. The complainant is not a layman and he has been continuously operating his bank account through internet banking and through debit card. The question of reinvestment does not arise when the check was not debited in the account of the complainant. It is true that on 10/1/2012, the bank replied to the complainant through an email that the amount was neither debited to the savings bank account nor credited to the FDR account of the complainant. The other allegations of the complaint are not true. The complainant is not entitled to get the reliefs as prayed for. Therefore, it is prayed to dismiss the complaint with exemplary cause. Next para. The points for consideration in this case are whether there is any deficiency of service on the part of the bank as alleged by the complainant. 2. Whether the complainant is entitled to claim the amount of Rs 54,514 with compensation of Rs 1 lakh against the opposite party or not. 3. To what relief? Next para. The learned counsel for the complainant and the opposite party filed their written arguments. Next para. Point number 1. Admittedly, the complainant had issued a check for Rs 50,000 on 22/12/2010 to the opposite party for the purpose of investment in a term deposit for 1 year 10 days. The bank filed the original check and it is marked. No doubt the complainant written the word yourself on the said check as contended by the bank. As rightly submitted by the complainant, it cannot be treated as a self-check when it is addressed to yourself, means the bank. Though the bank made some comment about writing the word yourself on the above check in its counter, it did not choose to return the check when it was not properly filled up according to the rules of the bank. When the bank issued the term deposit receipt which is marked, it is estopped to raise such pleas in their counter. The complainant filed the copy of the statement of his account which is marked as Exhibit A6. It discloses that there was a balance of Rs 62,385 as on 21/12/2010. Therefore, there was a sufficient cash in the savings bank account of the complainant to debit the check issued by the complainant for the purpose of issuing the term deposit receipt. It is the duty of the bank to debit the check issued by the complainant on 22/12/2010 itself before issuing the term deposit receipt. The various contentions raised by the bank that the concerned clerk could not debit the amount due to failure of power supply or system are not tenable and they do not cover the gross negligence on the part of the concerned clerk. Evidently, the bank came to know about their mistake only when the complainant asked for the renewal of the deposit on 5/1/2012. Then the bank gave a reply through email by admitting their mistake and by saying sorry for the inconvenience caused to the complainant. The bank requested the complainant to visit their branch in person with an assurance that they would issue TDR from back date if the same amount is available in the savings bank account from 22/12/2010 till that date. The bank also addressed a letter on 23/1/2012 which is marked as Exhibit A5 to the complainant to return the TDR as the TDR receipt was issued without debiting his account. The bank did not show any such rules for maintaining the same balance in the account of a customer when he issued a check for the purpose of TDR till the date of its maturity. After considering the material documents produced by the parties, we came to the conclusion that the bank failed to debit the check amount in the account of the complainant due to the negligence of the concerned clerk, and it amounts to deficiency of service on its part. We answered this point against the bank. Next para. Point 2. The complainant vehemently contended that his amount of rupees 50,000 was taken away by the bank, and hence he is entitled to claim the maturity value of rupees 54,514 as mentioned in Exhibit A1. On the other hand, the learned counsel for the bank would submit that the complainant had withdrawn considerable amount from his account within a period of 2 months from the date of issue of check without maintaining the balance of rupees 50,000. We have already stated that the bank is bound to debit the check amount in the account of the complainant before issuing the TDR. It is immaterial whether the complainant maintained the same balance subsequently or not. It is the duty of the bank to return the checks, if any, presented by the complainant after the date of TDR when there was no balance in his account. The circumstances of this case clearly go to show that the bank simply ignored the check issued by the complainant for the purpose of TDR and allowed him to make the transactions as usual. Strictly speaking, the complainant was not entitled to get any interest from the bank on the balance amount after issuing the check for rupees 50,000, which ought to have been debited before issuing the TDR, and thereby he was benefited in that way. The bank has not taken away the amount of rupees 50,000 from the account of the complainant as contended by him. No doubt the complaint sustained a monetary loss of rupees 4,515 towards interest due to the failure of the bank in keeping an amount of rupees 50,000 as term deposit. He also lost interest over the said amount from the date of maturity, that is 1/1/2012, till this date. Admittedly, the complainant has been making transactions with the bank as usual, and hence there is no mental agony or loss of time. Therefore, the complainant is not entitled to claim any other compensation or the check amount. He is only entitled to claim the interest amount of rupees 4,514 with reasonable interest at 8.5% from 1/1/2012 till the date of realization. It is also just and reasonable to award rupees 2,000 as costs. Next para. In the result, the opposite party is directed to pay rupees 4,514 to the complainant with interest at 8.5% per annum from 1/1/2012 till the date of realization with the costs of rupees 2,000. The complaint is partly allowed accordingly. Time for compliance is 30 days.